Welcome to the Top 12 YouTube channel. In this video we talk about the top 12 crime movies of all time, based on ratings and critics. Number 12, American Gangster. Movie follows Frank Lucas, who takes control of his boss business after his death, and expands his control to various businesses, while in secret running a drug cartel. On Rotten Tomatoes, it has a rating of 80%. On IMDb, it has a rating of 7.8 out of 10. And on YouTube, critics think this is a true gangster movie. Number 11, Kill Bill Volume 1. A pregnant assassin goes into a coma for 4 years after her boss Bill brutally attacks her. When she wakes up, she goes on a quest to seek revenge on him. On Rotten Tomatoes, it has a rating of 85%. On IMDb, it has a rating of 8.1 out of 10. And on YouTube, critics think that the acting and storyline of this movie is spectacular. Number 10, Shoplifters. A family of small-time crooks take in a child they find on street during winter season. But their secrets are exposed that ends their below-the-radar existence. On Rotten Tomatoes, it has a rating of 99%. On IMDb, it has a rating of 8 out of 10. And on YouTube, critics say that they watched this movie and it destroyed them. Number 9, Heat. Lieutenant Hannah, a detective, must catch a highly intelligent seasonal criminal who is planning one last robbery before he retires. On Rotten Tomatoes, it has a rating of 86%. On IMDb, it has a rating of 8.2 out of 10. And on YouTube, critics think that this movie is truly a masterpiece. Number 8, Scarface. Story of Tony Montana and his close friend Manny together build a strong drug empire in Miami. But as his power begins to grow, so does his ego and his enemies. On Rotten Tomatoes, it has a rating of 81%. On IMDb, it has a rating of 8.3 out of 10. And on YouTube, critics think that this is the best movie ever made. Number 7, The Reservoir Dogs. Movie follows 6 criminals who are hired to steal diamonds. They do not know each other's true identity. But when attempting the heist, the police ambushes them, leading them to believe that one of them is an undercover officer. On Rotten Tomatoes, it has a rating of 91%. On IMDb, it has a rating of 8.3 out of 10. And on YouTube, critics say, don't miss watching this movie, or you will regret it. Number 6, 7. A serial killer begins murdering people according to the 7 deadly sins. 2 detectives, one new to the city and the other about to retire, must catch the criminal. On Rotten Tomatoes, it has a rating of 81%. On IMDb, it has a rating of 8.6 out of 10. And on YouTube, critics think that not watching this movie should be considered as a sin. Number 5, The Departed. An undercover agent and a mole in the police constantly try to counterattack each other in order to save themselves from being exposed. Meanwhile, both try to infiltrate an Irish gang. On Rotten Tomatoes, it has a rating of 91%. On IMDb, it has a rating of 8.5 out of 10. And on YouTube, critics think this is perhaps the best cast a movie has ever got. Number 4, City of the God. 2 boys are brought up in an evil neighborhood. They take different professional paths, with one of them becoming a photographer, and the other boy becoming a drug dealer. On Rotten Tomatoes, it has a rating of 91%. On IMDb, it has a rating of 8.6 out of 10. And on YouTube, critics say they love this movie. Number 3, The Silence of the Lamb. An FBI agent seeks help from Hannibal Lecter, who is a psychopathic killer, in order to catch another serial killer who has been killing female victims. On Rotten Tomatoes, it has a rating of 96%. On IMDb, it has a rating of 8.6 out of 10. And on YouTube, critics were glued to the screen while watching this movie. Number 2, Goodfellas, 1990. Movie follows Henry Hill and his friends Jimmy and Tommy as they begin the climb from being a petty criminals to a gangsters on the streets of New York. On Rotten Tomatoes, it has a rating of 96%. On IMDb, it has a rating of 8.7 out of 10. And on YouTube, critics think that life is worth living just to see this movie. Number 1, The Godfather, 1972. Don Vito Corleone, head of a mafia family, makes a decision to hand over his empire to his youngest son, Michael. But his decision unintentionally leads to grave consequences. On Rotten Tomatoes, it has a rating of 98%. On IMDb, it has a rating of 9.2 out of 10. And on YouTube, critics think, this movie is a great movie with garbage trailer. Like and subscribe for more videos. And let us know if you agree with our choices.